Hi, I'm Alexander Wardach, a senior here at Delaware Valley Regional High School, and I am here today with Congressman Leonard Lance of the House of Representatives. Good evening, Mr. Lance. Nice to be here.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here at Del Val.
Mr. Lance, he has had 4 terms in the House of Representatives, and he is up for re-election for his 5th term coming up very soon. And he has taken time out of his extremely busy schedule to be here with us, have a few questions, talk about some stuff, meet with the students, the high schoolers here. Thank you very much for
Thank
attending.
you.
So I wanted to open it up with kind of a common question, which is going on right now with the election. And I know you support Trump, and how do you feel the election has been with coercing you to either stick with Trump or maybe switch your stance?
I'm a Republican and have always supported the Republican nominee for president and for other offices as well. I haven't liked the tenor of the campaign with either of the candidates for president, and I hope in the remaining weeks of the campaign that both of the candidates can discuss the important public issues that confront the nation. Foreign policy, defeating ISIS, a virulent group that wishes us ill, and economic policy here in the United States, particularly to help the private sector create strong American jobs for middle-class Americans.
Mm-hmm. And I also know, I know that you were against the Affordable Care Act. And I know with Trump, and he was thinking of completely repealing it, but would you rather see it amended or completely repealed?
The phrase I have used is repeal and replace,
Mm-hmm.
and you decide for yourself whether that's amending it.
Right.
I would repeal it, but then at the same time replace it with what I favor. I don't favor going back to the system that existed before the president's health care legislation was enacted into law. And the real question is, what do I favor if I am a critic of the president's health care plan, as I am? And what I favor is purchase of policies across state lines, pooling of like-minded interests together, health savings accounts, tort reform, medical malpractice insurance reform. That was not contained in the president's legislation. I think there is a way forward, and I also think whoever is elected president, when inaugurated in January, will have to deal with this issue because much of it is collapsing. For example, the governor of Minnesota, who is of the president's party, has said recently that it is not working well in that state.
Mm-hmm. And also with Trump, I know in the debates he's been talking a lot about proposing term limits for people in Congress, which for a very long time there has been no term limits. It's only for the president. But how do you feel in favor for this idea or against it?
I would favor it so long as it applies across the board. I would not favor it only for New Jersey,
Right.
because we would be at a disadvantage. But I certainly favor new blood in Washington, and I think that it's important that we get new ideas on the table in our deliberations in the nation's capital.
Mm-hmm. You were saying before how you represent almost 750,000 people in the state. How do you, because delegates I know are more House and trustees more Senate, how do you try to adhere to your political beliefs but yet represent such a diverse population of people?
I think that my views are the views of the overwhelming majority of the people in the district I represent. I call it a north-central New Jersey district, 750,000 people in northern New Jersey, north-central New Jersey. This district is suburban to rural, and my views, I'm a moderately conservative Republican. My views, I think, are the views of the majority. Thank goodness we live in a country where the American people themselves choose our leaders on a regularly scheduled basis, and there's a healthy debate as to how to move the nation forward, and I certainly will abide by the election results, both for president and for Congress. I'm confident my views are the views of the people I serve here in this part of New Jersey.
And also, I asked you a little bit about this before with the Modern Cures Act. How you were saying, reintroduce it in the House. And what would you be able to do, let's say it was not passed again? Would you, keep insisting, or would you try to, reform it and try to amend it before you keep going?
I want the bill that I've sponsored to try to bring new medicines to market for underserved populations, particularly those with rare diseases. I want that bill to become law, and I will fight as hard as possible in the new term of Congress to do so. Whether it can be passed as a standalone piece of legislation or whether it can be merged into a larger piece of legislation, of course, is something I'm willing to negotiate on that topic, because I want the theory to become law, because I think it will lead to a healthier America, because there will be more medicines that will treat diseases that are rare in nature.
And a little bit of a follow-up to that question. Now that you are on the House of Energy and Commerce Committee, do you feel that this has given you, obviously more jurisdiction, but more power to actually do more of what you want to do?
Yes. No freshman was permitted on the House Energy and Commerce Committee when I was a freshman. I was able to get on the committee my second term in Congress. It's a committee where there is a great deal of competition to get on the committee. I'm very grateful to my leadership for permitting me to serve on that committee. I am at my most effective through the committee process. That's how Congress works, and it is the committee that is the most important committee on which to serve for the constituents I represent, because this is that part of the United States that is really the medicine chest of the country, and I would argue one of the medicine chests of the world. We have a great deal of pharmaceutical and medical device employees in this district, a great deal of telecommunications employees, and these are areas of jurisdiction for the committee.
Mm. Is there anything you'd like to just say, since this is going out to all the high schoolers here, since they are either entering or they just entered, the ability to vote or the whole political process?
I think it's important, critically important, that young people vote who are able to vote at age 18. If you look at the statistics, fewer young people vote percentage-wise than any other age cohort, and I want to overcome that. I want as many young people to vote as are able to vote, and I encourage all young people, regardless of whether they're yet able to vote, to study the important issues that confront the nation. The country belongs to the young to a greater extent than it belongs to any other group in age, and I'm very, very pleased with the participation here at Delaware Valley Regional High School and the level of understanding of national and international issues.
Well, thank you very much again for joining us today, giving us some of your time, giving us some of your knowledge and your wisdom about the whole election political process, all you do and all you do for our country, all you do for our state, and all you do for us here. Thank you very much. Again.
Thank you very much.